What's going on, guys? Welcome back down to the basement. Now, I don't know if some of you have probably never heard of a game called Cardinal Syn, and it is one of my top 10 favorite fighting games on the PS1 back then. And there were a few things I was curious about when it came to playing it, with its story, its characters, etc. Okay, the basis of Cardinal Syn is that in this random chaotic land where you have all these different armies and regimes fighting each other, this wanderer starts walking the earth, and he starts teaching, peace between the clans and come to mutual understanding and let's stop the war. And then mysteriously gives them all scrolls that, bind their alliance, and then the guy just fucking disappears. And after he disappears, war breaks out between all these armies, and the land is thrown into chaos again. And a woman named Syn appears, and Syn is like this sorceress who appeared in the same fashion as the Wanderer who got them together. However, it's an evil broad. And when she appears, she breaks up the war, she breaks up all of the fighting between the clans, and she has them come together for a meeting of sorts. And she takes those scrolls that bound their alliance and made 3 sacred swords. And she announces a tournament for all of these clans to enter, and each clan sends one champion to Syn's tournament. And if you defeat Syn, you will rule the Bloodland, and you will receive these swords.
One of the most bloody battles, a blinding flash suddenly suspended all warfare. In the center of this explosive light stood the cloaked figure of a woman. All were stunned as the woman held the almost forgotten symbol of unity high for all to see. It was then that the clan leaders were gathered and instructed to present their invaluable scrolls. Those who were present at this gathering have related a strange tale filled with inexplicable power. A tale that is only concluded when the woman magically turned the scrolls into inscripted swords. This woman is Syn.
Let the grand tournament begin.
And preparation for the grand tournament began as the contestants were ready for combat. Each fought to the death until only one was triumphant. This champion rose to Syn's temple to claim his right to rule the Bloodland. He was never again to be seen. Now, a generation later.
Okay, question number 1. Why would any of you trust a woman named Syn? What fucking woman just appears and she's eyes are shot with electricity and she just looks winchy? I don't think trusting a woman named Syn is going to cleanse you or lead you to any form of prosperity. She is like the statue from Damnation. Why? Never trust a woman named Syn. Because that's all that's going to come out is Syn. My second question. Okay, in Syn's tournament, each champion from each army fights to the death to meet Syn and obtain those swords. However, Syn instantly destroys the winner of this tournament to rule the land. They go to see her and she kills them. So after that happened, that she pronounces another tournament. Why would the clans fight in her tournament again if she's just going to relinquish the champion? Why would you fight in this crazy bitch's tournament again? It makes no sense, because you all never see your champion alive. You don't know if they made it through. You don't see your champion ever again, and no one has seen Syn in years since the first tournament. Why send another champion into this tournament if you didn't hear anything from the first one? More than likely, they're dead, and the evil bitch with the 3 swords is the cause of it. And speaking of which, when they disappear, each clan's champion disappears, why aren't these armies, for once, forming another alliance to get rid of the crazy bitch, to get rid of the sorceress bitch who is destroying the people you are sending to represent you. Why send another person to fight in the same tournament that died at her hands? Why don't these countries unite to kill Syn? I always wondered why. Why fight by her rules again like good guinea pigs? Okay, and I had some beef with a few characters actually. The first character I was curious about, Bimorphia. Name is Bimorphia. Now, I'm going to let you watch this clip of Bimorphia's prologue, and you can pretty understand my curiosity when you watch this. How is this character alive? What? There's many inconsistencies there. For one, you mixed a man and a woman together in one body physically. I don't think their organs and length will match up that well. Two, you fused a black man and a white woman together. I don't think the blood types are going to work that well unless they happen to be the same blood type, but their overall physicality is an abomination in and of itself and can't possibly work. Three, Bimorphia, before Syn splits them in half, that's instant death right there. What kind of sorcery does this woman have that she can assemble someone's brain and body back together and they live? I never understood this character. Like, it's not possible even in a fantasy sense. The character is a couple in and of itself. Another character I was curious about, Plague. Simply named Plague. Plague is a zombie with a wooden leg who can hardly stand up. What skilled warrior is going to lose to a corpse that can't hold itself up and fights with a club? Unless you are like the suckiest fucking guy that they were training in the back of the mountain somewhere and he doesn't know how to fucking guard or dodge or freaking throw a rock or throw a punch straight. What trained warrior in this bloodland is going to lose to this zombie? If a zombie comes and takes over your land, you all deserve to be taken over. If you lose to this guy. Speaking of another character, Stygian. Stygian is he's just a skeleton. He's a big skeleton with an animal, I don't know, he's just a fucking skeleton, and he fights with like a club or a big bone. One of the two. Again, what skilled warrior will lose to this? It's a fucking skeleton. If any of you lost to this, your clan should throw you over the side of a mountain with anvils attached to your ankles and throw you into the damn water for losing to this. another thing. You have all these different clans and armies. They each send a champion to represent them in Syn's tournament. Okay, great. The Pixie Clan, Junie, which is this little pixie that fights with these two little adorable knives. They send Junie to represent them. Why do you send the adorable little pixie girl against guys like this? The Pixie Clan must have hated her real bad if they sent her up against these guys. I always wondered why. Because, you know, when she fights, she has to get so close and personal with those little knives, and the big guys just smack the shit out of the poor girl with the axe or their fist or something. Why'd they send that little girl to their death? Why? Why Junie? Why didn't you send somebody, like, bigger, like, the Elf Clan sent Orion? You send Junie, little 14-year-old girl, down the frickin' block to go deal with guys who look like they ate their mothers in prison. Or fathers. Probably both, which got them in prison. And last but not least, when it comes to Cardinal Syn and my curiosities, some of the characters, their whole existence is for naught. Because when they defeat Syn and they achieve her swords, some of them use the swords for resurrecting someone to obtain a power, and they're dead instantly. Now, you just fought that whole tournament. You've done all this only to achieve these swords, only for you to be sacrificed. Some of these characters' missions, their lives are for naught. There's no reason for them to even fight in the competition because they are doomed from the very start. Because you got zombies and skeletons and little pixie girls and little black voodoo guys fighting to represent a clan of some sorts, and when they get the sword, some of them don't represent their clans. They try to use it for its power and then die instantly because they don't know what the fuck the swords are for, or what the swords do. They just know to go fight in the tournament that this crazy witch bitch told all of us to go fight in so we can achieve power and rule the land. Some of these characters, their lives are just for naught. And that's a few curiosities I had about Cardinal Syn. Let me know what you guys think if you've played it and you have your own curiosities. I'll see you guys next time down in the Nostalgia Chamber, down here in the basement.